And now, after years of planning, sweating, and going broke, here is the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
I'll alert the media.
Why they would give this man a podcast is anyone's guess.
Then there is what could only be a bizarre coincidence or something else.
Welcome to the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Country music and fine moonshine. Finally, a podcast that lets it all hang out.
Let's level with America.
Got your boots? Ready for some whiskey?
These boots are made for walking.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
And now, the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Hey everyone, Jim here, Boots and Whiskey Podcast. Welcome to a very special Sunday edition of the show. It's not a full-length episode. Actually, I'm going to have you vote. I want you to tell us whether or not we should do a full-length episode with our friend Ginger Billy. Ginger Billy's going to be here up in New England this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday. Friday night at Foxwoods Resort Casino, Saturday at the Wilbur in Boston. We are giving away 2 sets of tickets. One set for Friday night at Foxwoods and the second set for Saturday night at the Wilbur. We're going to post about all that coming up here today. So do what you do. Like, follow, subscribe, tag a friend, and we will we'll announce the winners of those on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, we will announce the winners of both sets for Friday and for Saturday's show. So a big thank you for Ginger Billy for being here. A big thank you for the Wilbur and Foxwoods and all the people behind everything for getting this set up and helping us out with it. It means the world to us. We still will have our regular episode on Tuesday with Matt Koziel, so stay tuned for that. We talked some cool stuff here. Like, it was quick, but we got some good stuff out of it. So I'm looking forward to doing a full length episode with him down the road and really kind of like getting into it and digging deep like we like to do here on this show. If it's your first time here, you're just gonna get like just the surface level of what we do here. And if you've seen this show a million times, you're gonna be like, whoa, so different than what we're used to. But that's okay. That's all right. We're cool. We're cool with that. We're cool with doing new things and all that. We hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day, I guess. And yeah, so sit back, relax, enjoy the quick conversation. Like I said, if you want to see a full length episode with Ginger Billy, we're gonna work on that. And we talked about at the end of this little segment that we do want to do it. So I'm gonna work on that and do it up. And without further ado, we hope you have a wonderful Sunday. We hope you're having a great weekend. And don't forget to come back on Tuesday for our episode with Matt Koziel. Until then, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we'll hit you up on the flip side here before we say goodnight. Cheers.
You know,
That sounds absolutely terrible.
yeah. Well, I got my son. I brought him to Texas with me, and
I saw that.
we, trying to find something cool to do. So I'm being a good parent and leaving him at the booth right now.
There you
while
go.
He's
There you go.
10. He can take care of himself, man. He's the size of a full-grown man. He's all right.
Yeah. Dude, I get it. I have a 14-year-old that, like, if he had facial hair, he wouldn't get carded.
Yeah. Well, he is 10. He just turned 10. He's 5 foot tall, 125 pounds. And we've taken jiu-jitsu for quite a while, which we've
Yep.
taken a break. But me and him wrestling, I'm like, he's going to embarrass me one day,
Yeah.
So I got to
Yeah.
cheat, man. I got to cheat.
Yeah. So what's going on? You're coming up here to New England.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's. I've been to Connecticut, correct? Is that what we're talking
Yeah.
about? But yeah,
Yeah.
I've been there. I think I've done one show in the state of Connecticut. So
Will this be your first time in Boston then, too?
no, I've done a
Oh,
show
okay.
in Boston before. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're helping them promote the Connecticut show and the Boston show.
Okay. I didn't know
So-
if it was just the one in Connecticut. Okay, and Massachusetts too.
Yeah.
Word.
We all start to blend together.
Yeah, man. Well, it's just like us Southerners. I
Yeah.
mean, you know.
So are you from Texas?
No, I'm from South Carolina.
Oh, that's not the South.
Bro, you come on down there. Just come on down there. Yeah.
Well, all right. For somebody that's been doing everything that is like Southern-esque for the last almost 4 years, I don't think South Carolina to be South.
Man, I tell you what, it's as redneck as any other state.
Sure.
But I have learned too, dude. I went up in New York. God, what was it called? Fonda. I
Okay,
raced
yeah.
dirt track. I raced dirt track up there. Man, there is some of the most backwood. Like you realize that it don't matter what state you go to,
True.
you will find people out in them bushes that are like, you know,
Yeah.
never seen a TV before.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
That's how like Western Mass was when I was growing up. Like they didn't get like high speed internet until like 5 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the town I live outside of, man, we just got a Tractor Supply last year, and dude, it is amazing to us that we have a Tractor Supply and a Starbucks, which is the town's 20 minutes away from me, and I call it a town. We ain't got like 3,000 people that live there,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's big time now, dude.
So how did you get into like what you're doing and stand up and all that stuff?
Man, honestly, I never in my life said I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. Never,
Yeah.
never. I never even thought I would be a YouTuber or whatever. That
Sure.
was not something that I was like wanting to do. But I just kind of got a random hair to do a video, and then it went from that to a guy being like, "Man, you should try stand-up." And so he threw me out there hosting for 5 minutes, and I was like, I saw the dude that was headlining, and I was like, I can be better than that guy.
Yeah.
And he's, and not being cocky, but
Sure. Yeah.
I just kind of worked my way from 5 minutes to 15 to 20, and now I do what an hour and 10, and it's just like anything else. You like any job, you get used to it, and now it's just I'm competitive, dude. I
Yeah.
cannot stand, to think somebody is better than me. So I try to work my butt off at it because I'm not going to get on a stage and suck.
Right. Oh,
Um,
absolutely not.
so yeah, I've played sports my whole life, but I've never been as competitive about something as I am this whole social media
Yeah. Yeah.
stand-up thing. It's not even about fame. It's more about how big can I get it?
Sure. Absolutely.
You
And
know?
that's kind of like what we do here. Like, and that's why I do it the way I do it because like I don't give a fuck, you know,
Yeah.
and it's worked out.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing. A lot of social media people like they hide their families and they hide who they are, and I have just been, hey, you see my wife, you see my child, I am going to show you that my struggles, because, and I think a lot of people are like, man, this dude is just a regular, and I am just a regular dude.
Right.
Where a lot of people live this whole, once they get on social media, they want to be somebody else.
Yeah. It's
You know?
stupid.
Yeah, man, I
Yeah.
don't have energy to do that. Like, I'm me, bro. So,
Right.
like it or not.
Right. So when you started this whole thing and you were doing, have you always done shirtless and jorts?
Yes, because that is how I grew up, man. I grew up out in the middle of nowhere. My neighbors were, farmers.
Yeah.
And when it gets 60 degrees, you were barefoot with no shirt. And my daddy passed away when I was 9, and I have pictures of him in the Daisy Dukes. Like that was him, man. No shirt, no shoes, the jorts. And that was kind of like an ode to him.
Okay.
It was kind of like just a in memory type thing.
Sure.
And now that's my outfit.
Now
You know?
you know how like Kreischer goes on stage and like rips his shirt off or takes his shirt off. Like, do you like before you get on stage, do you like hype yourself up and then that's when you take your
No.
shit off, or are you just like that all day?
No, man, I am totally different. Burt Kreischer, I like Burt Kreischer, but I've seen people, just some in my special, and when I put my stand-up, oh, he's just a Burt Kreischer wannabe. He's
Yeah.
copying him. I'm like, okay, so in that case, every comedian that wears a shirt is
Right.
copying that comedian, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Like, dumbass. So, no, I don't rip my shirt off. I don't even talk about really my physique. It is just, that's my outfit.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, that is what I wear, and that is what you see me, out in the bushes in at the house, and so that's just me. You know.
Because what I love, what I love about you and what you're doing is like you're so observational and like every day, like this is just life, right? And
Yes.
you know, talking to people from the South and knowing a lot of people from your neck of the woods and South, you have like hit the nail on the fucking head.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Yeah. Well, man, I grew up like it's simple, very simple.
yeah,
Raised by just my mama, and I have a wonderful mama. But man, the life I grew up in is kind of that's why I am, the way I am, and
right,
I I don't know. I see these guys who and gals who I don't know. They just portray to be somebody, and I don't know. I'm just me, man.
yeah,
And I don't know. I think people can relate to just being normal.
yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And like even, I say about, people from the South and all that and the people you talk about, but like we were talking about, like those people are here too.
yes, yes, they're everywhere, man.
They're everywhere.
It's not a Southern thing.
No, not even
It is.
close.
It is just a way of life
Yes.
thing. I've been to California. Redding, California was probably one of the most redneck places I've ever been in my life. I mean, the rowdiest, but nicest people you ever meet. They're everywhere. They're in every place that you go to. You can find them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when you started doing your material, was that what your aim was, or did it just come naturally that way?
No, my aim was my life experience and my
Yeah.
family, and it's because I can't really talk about something that I can't relate to.
Sure.
So my comedy is about my family, about me, struggles that I had with drugs and stuff like that, and then making a family, marrying my wife, and how all that happened, my kid, and I kind of just everything I talk about has to be something that I'm like, I can feel it, I can relate to it. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
find a way to relate to it, I guess. But yeah, so that's just my style of comedy, and
Yeah.
I've tried so hard over the years, which I've never been a dirty comedian, you know, but being clean and being funny is hard to do.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
And I pride myself in being able to do that because I look out in the crowd, man, and I got parents bringing their 10-year-olds, and there's a lot of kids that,
Really?
if they're, oh yeah, if the venue allows them, man, ever since TikTok, dude,
Yeah.
it is wild. YouTube and Facebook, I've always had an adult crowd,
Yeah.
but man, when I got on TikTok, it is kids, and it makes me so happy because I'm a 37-year-old man.
Yeah.
And if a child can relate to me, that means I am still living a young life. I am
Yeah.
still, and that makes me happy because I'm still a child, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
So
it's funny because all right, so that you and I are the same age, and like I put out things out there, like whenever I put out our YouTube videos, I'm like, this is not safe for children,
yeah,
because it's like, I know I swear, I know I do this, I know I do
yes,
that, and it's like some of the things we talk about, just, you know, to the point where like I have 3 boys, and my middle is like super like psyched that dad's on YouTube.
yeah, oh yeah,
And
man.
and I'm
Hmm.
like, dude, you can't watch some of these episodes,
Yeah, yeah.
because it's like, as much as I love my kids, like I don't think about that. I don't think about the access they have to it because we didn't have it.
No, no, and that's the thing, man. I talk about that in my stand-up too. Our children are maturing so much faster than we matured
Yeah.
because the stuff that my son, and you can't stop them from seeing this stuff.
No.
If they're on YouTube, a lot of it is subliminal too, man.
Yeah.
Like they're a kid channel, but the things they say, I'm like,
Yep.
I know
hundred
what you
percent.
mean.
Yep.
And so yeah, they are totally different than we were. But my comedy is something that a 10, 12, 13-year old, if it gets dirty, it's like something they would say.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So if I do say it dirty, it's gonna be, wiener or something like that. It ain't, because to me, wiener is a hilarious word, man.
Right,
You
right,
know, so I'm gonna make it to where everybody can sit there and not be like,
right, right.
yeah,
You can watch it with mom and dad and not be like, oh boy.
yes. And that was another thing. I wouldn't let my mama come to any of my stand-up comedy shows because I was born Southern Baptist Christian, and I'm like, I cuss a couple times, but it ain't no hard words. And I was just like, she was like, well, here you got shows close by. I'm like, Mama, you staying home? Like, I can't get out there on stage and know my mama's out there, and me be me.
Right,
So
right.
yeah,
I gotta tip my hat to you because like there's things I talk about. Like I know my dad listens to like every episode, right? And like we've gone deep this year with some stuff, some mental health stuff I've gone through, some other things artists have gone through, whatever. Like we get into it. And, I know there's conversations that I've had that like I don't know that I would sit down with them and have, but
yes.
like it's almost like I'm having it with them without having it with them, if that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally, man. Totally. And that's my thing. Every time I turn on a camera, in the back of my head, I'm like, is my mama going to look at this and be like,
Right. Right.
you know? So, yeah, and
Right.
I live right across the pasture from her. So, it ain't like I can hide. So if I do say something and I go down there, she's going to be like, I saw what you said, and then I'm going to
Yeah.
feel guilty. So,
Now, do you
yeah.
when you write bits or whatever, and like you talk about your wife or your kids or whatever, like do you ever sit down with her and say like, listen, this is the observation I had, this is the joke I want to write, or do you just do it, put it out there, and then she come to you and be like, what the hell?
No, I don't really have to run anything by her per
Yeah, yeah,
se because she knows it's all in fun and also it is comedy, so everything is stretched out.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like most everything I say in my set is true, but I will
right,
take it and make it more
sure,
than what it is.
right,
And man, she's such a good sport. She don't care. She knows why I'm doing it, and she knows it never comes from a bashing
yeah,
angle.
yeah,
Because she wins, man. You know how it is.
yeah,
The
I sure
woman in
do.
the end wins.
Yeah.
So, no. She's all cool with it.
And like we do that as guys anyway, right? We will take the most small thing and stretch it to a point where it's almost ridiculous.
Yes, yes. But if you are good at what you do, you know, that's how you're supposed to do it. You take
Yeah,
something that's 1 minute and you turn it into 10.
right,
You know.
right,
So
right.
yeah, yep,
So I gotta ask you, right? I saw because I was watching some of your stuff this morning on I don't remember where it was. I think might have been Instagram or whatever. Now, your son, you refer to him as Dale Junior Junior.
yes.
Why the Junior Junior?
You ever heard the race car driver Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I call him Dale Junior Jr. after the race car driver Dale Jr.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
because I started out doing videos about NASCAR. That's like my first video that went big. It was about Dale Earnhardt Jr. retiring.
Got it.
And so one day, I'm just out there outside and I see him and I say, yeah, that's my boy Dale Jr. Jr. And man, that is what he is known as to the world. I mean, we
Yeah,
can go anywhere and you'll hear "There's Dale Jr. Jr." I mean, that's his name. That's what
yeah.
he knows. So that's where that came from.
Gotcha. So it was just kind of like a fun kind of thing that has turned into.
Yes, that's just turned into
Gotcha.
his character. That's his
All
character.
right. Gotcha.
Yep.
That now it makes sense.
Yes,
Now it
sir.
makes sense. So like it's kind of like how we all have nicknames for our kids. Your
Yes.
kid just
Yes,
everybody
yes.
knows who he is.
And the world has watched my child grow up, man. I started
Right.
this when he was 2.
Yeah.
And so people are like, man, your child has gotten so big. Your wife is, she looks so good. And because I've put, everything out there, per se, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and it's almost like a little soap opera, man. People love to keep up with you and they feel like they know you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
When you do that, you
Absolutely.
you you form much more of a relationship with people like that.
Yeah. Now for you, right? Because of the growth and the success you've had over the last few years, how different is it for you now than when even a few years ago? Like when it comes to like interacting with people, or you do like a bigger, a bigger theater show up here or whatever. Like how
Yeah.
do you feel like there's a disconnect, or are you still
No, man.
no?
I'm still. Every day. It don't matter if I have to get stopped 100 times. I am still thankful for every single person because my life has changed
Yeah,
because of that, man.
yeah,
I mean, I worked at a hospital for 13 years, and these people have allowed me to provide for my family
yeah,
and raise my son. So I am happy, man. It's just, there's never one time where somebody's like, man, can I take a picture? I'm like, no, 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 no.
yeah.
Thank you, because that means you think enough of me
Right,
to want to take a picture with me.
right.
So, nah, it never gets old, and my life has not changed. I live out in the country. I get away from people as much as I want to, and then I'm back on the road, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. So are you doing just, are you just kind of like a weekend warrior at this point where you do Thursday, Friday, Saturday or whatever?
Yeah, man. I'm
Yeah.
not one of these guys that can do 365. I got, the first 2 years of my comedy career, I didn't see my son.
Yeah.
I worked at the hospital, I left, and I did this, and I was like, man, I can't do that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have a daddy. I don't want him to not have me. So
Sure.
I made it to where I will tour January through May, then I'm off. And I just make money off my YouTube and my social media. I coach his sports. I do everything with him, and that's how it works.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. Like you're
Yeah.
living the dream.
Yes, I am, man. I am. Now, of course, they'll try to get you. My agent is the coolest dude in the world. I love him. He is the best guy you'll ever meet. But it is his prerogative to be like, hey, man, I know you're getting off in May, but we got some shows that you could do. And, I have to be the one to be like, no, my child is more important than going out
Yeah.
and doing this.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and that's, that makes you a good dad.
yeah, well, man, he's 10 already.
Right.
I'm not going to be cool for long. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
want to make sure that while he wants to hang out with me, I'm going to hang out with him.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So you're in Texas this weekend.
Yes, I'm in Plano, Texas this week and this weekend at the Mic Drop Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow night. And then next week I will be at Foxwoods Casino
Yep.
in Ledyard, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And then I'll be at the Wilbur in
Yeah.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Shoot you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pumped.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're going to be great shows.
Yeah, we'll
You're,
have fun, man. Yeah,
you're you're hysterical. I absolutely love what you're doing. Like it's funny because it's like I'd go through your TikTok or whatever, and like I would see it, and I'd see all your social media, like I'd like cackling, and then when
Thank you.
when the people over at the Wilbur were like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to
Thank
do
you,
that."
man. No,
Absolutely.
I critique myself to the point where I'm like, why do people even? Because I just watch myself and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm funny.
No, I get it.
But as long as people enjoy it, I will continue to be a freaking clown. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, keep doing it because you're killing it. I'm gonna, I appreciate your time. I know you're with your kid. Go hang out with him, have fun, and enjoy your shows this weekend, and enjoy the cold up here next weekend.
oh yeah, I will, man. Hey, appreciate you even letting me come on, dude.
Oh, anytime, man. And whenever you have more time and whatever, come back. We'll
Oh,
shoot the shit and do a full thing.
well, I will holler at you. I'll email you so we can make that happen, then, dude.
Sounds good, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoy your
Have a
weekend.
good. See you.
Bye. Well, there you have it, everybody. Again, thank you, Ginger Billy, for being here. Thank you to the people at the Wilbur and Foxwoods and everybody behind the scenes that has helped get this short little episode out for you. Like I said, it'd be great to like sit down for the hour with Ginger Billy and be like, all right, let's get into this. Because it's a cool dude, man. He's the real deal. I love stand-up comedy. Stand up outside of country music, stand-up comedy is like number two of like my favorite things that aren't my kids and all that stuff. So again, the post should be up soon if they aren't already on our Instagram and our social medias. Like, follow, subscribe, do all the things that it asks you to do. tag a friend. We will reach out to the people that won on Wednesday, and we will tag them in the posts on who won. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. For the bottom of my heart, without you, this show does not exist. Until next time, guys, keep those boots on the ground and the whiskey in the glass. Y'all, cheers. Have a great rest of your weekend.